Welcome to Mill Creek Central Railroad, the home of Central Ohio Area Live Steamers, also known as COLS. To make sure everyone has a safe and enjoyable time, all those attending must follow all safety guidelines listed in this mandatory video. Just remember, safety first, and please use common sense. Mill Creek Central Railroad is a privately owned track that is maintained by the Central Ohio Area Live Steamers. As happens in all things, accidents can occur. If you derail and need assistance, we have the appropriate equipment and manpower available. If any safety issues arise, please notify a member or volunteer immediately. Members of COLS and other volunteers during the convention will be wearing maroon shirts and may be positioned at key points around the railroad. In all rail disputes, the track officials have the final say in settling issues. We are not responsible for damage to equipment, so you'll need to be an active participant in the re-railing of your own equipment. Mile markers are every 100 feet. Use these for location purposes and notify us on the FRS Radio Channel 5 if you need assistance. To attend the Buckeye Limited Convention, you are required to sign a waiver of liability. All participants and guests attending must understand that they are riding solely at their own risk. While having fun, it is important to stay safe and follow all safety guidelines. The signaling system. Each block of single-line track has a yellow take switch and a green release switch at the start and end of the block. The signal head typically has 3 sets of LEDs designating the current state of the block. Blocks containing an off-main diverting switch will have an extra set of white lights to designate the track is heading off the main line. A green signal indicates that no one is in the block. You may trip the switch on the yellow post to your right to claim the block. A yellow signal indicates that one is in the block traveling the same direction as you, and you must wait for the signal to turn green before tripping the switch and proceeding forward. A red signal indicates that you must wait in the passing siding as there is a train heading towards you. Make sure you only use the signal switch on your right side to activate the signal. The ones on your left are for the opposing traffic. If you are unsure how the signals work, please ask one of the volunteers to walk you through it. Make sure you are always gentle when activating the signals as they require you to push them down approximately 45 degrees from their vertical position. If you push too far, you will break the switch. After taking the block, keep an eye out for oncoming traffic. Flashing signals. If at any time your signal is flashing, please do not enter the block. Flashing signals mean a problem has been detected. Notify a volunteer to contact the signal crew. If you are sitting at a red signal for a very long time, you might think someone could have failed to release the signal. Before you release a signal for someone, walk the block and verify that it is clear. If both signals are red, there was a power loss. A power loss requires you to clear the block. Running multiple trains in a single block. Considering the large number of trains anticipated to be running on the railroad, it is acceptable to run multiple trains in a block at once. The first train will take the block or the yellow post. The last train will release the block by hitting the green post as you return to the double mainline track. Be sure to communicate with all trains in the section when you will be running together. Please have those on your lead engine notify oncoming trains that there are multiple trains in the block. The switches for diverging track. There are 2 types of switches found on Mill Creek's railroad: electronically and manually operated switches. Manually operated switches are sprung switches so you can run through them. They look like this. The main line is designated by the red screw position near the throw. If you throw a manually controlled switch to travel off the main line, please reposition it back to the main line position for the next train. Electronically operated switches look like this. The green LED on the switches indicates the mainline position. It will match the LED position and it will be colored green on the motor. The white LED indicates that you are traveling off the main line. It'll match the LED position and it will be a white color on the motor. Make sure to never throw a switch when a train is on top of it, as it could cause an accident. This is the fastest way to lose a friend and cause a derailment. Tunnels. The tunnels on our track have limited visibility for oncoming traffic. A red flasher on the entrance of a tunnel means that a train is coming towards you. The runaway track. The runaway track is located at the westbound end of Sand Hill. It is activated by a rail sensor when traffic moves on an unclaimed block. If the runaway flashers are flashing red, stop your train as soon as possible or you will be derailed. The safety chain requirement. At Mill Creek Central, we now require the use of safety chains. No train may leave any of the train yards without them. If you plan to operate your own equipment, please bring your own safety chains with you. If you do not follow this protocol, you could be asked to collect your equipment and leave. We also request that you only operate a train that can pull, brake, and fully stop under 3% grade. Railcar brakes are strongly encouraged. Derailments and running problems. If you are having continuous derailments or problems with a locomotive or a rail car, we ask that you please get into a yard or a siding to fix the problem. You reserve the right to request locomotives or rail cars to be removed from the railroad if problems persist or the equipment is damaging the track. Train parking. When parking your train, make sure you are not on the main line. If you are not sure where to park, please ask one of the yard attendants. They have the final say for all sidings on the railroad. If in the yard, you may be allowed with permission of the yard master to briefly leave your train on one of the main lines to run to the restroom or grab a drink. Please keep your equipment unlocked so that if your train is blocking anything, it can be safely moved. Night running. Night running is permitted, but please make sure your engine has a white headlight and a red rear marker. Use horns and whistles sparingly at night, especially around campers and tents. It is highly encouraged that you have a rear conductor for added safety. Track speed limit. The track speed limit is 7 miles per hour or 55 scale miles per hour. Violators will have the engineer's license revoked. Alcohol. Alcohol is not permitted on the property. This is a family event, so please save the drinks for later. Track communication. FRS radios are used on the railroad. Channel 4 is used for yard operations only. Channel 5 is designated for emergencies, needed assistance, and track volunteer communication. If assistance is needed, please identify the mile marker closest to your location. We ask that you do not use Channel 6 as it is reserved for staff and volunteer operations on the railroad. Channel 7 is recommended for guests and participants on the track. As no volunteers will be on this channel, you may use it to talk to friends and your crew. Thank you for watching this informational video. All of us at Mill Creek hope that you have a fun and safe time on the track.